Welcome to one hell of a mess of a video. I've got no idea. I really don't. Right, the original stance of this video was going to be following on from utilising the casual king build in heroic to then utilising it in legendary. As you can see now on screen are the builds. I'm using my casual king build. I've got two people running strikers Elmos, one of which is using the chest and the backpack, another which is running Dod-Foamath. And the idea was to go through and show just how little damage a 6 blue strikers build is. However, literally within like 5 minutes of getting into it, I remembered that a 6 blue Oreo build outperforms a bloody Elmo build. So yeah, that went tits up pretty damn quick. Now on screen are the results from this legendary run. As you can see, despite having 6 blues, I did the most damage and I got the most kills by about at least 100 mil, and I got like 20 more kills than the others. However, what you will see throughout this run is I also died the most, despite being the most survivable. I went down 4 times, which is more than what I normally go down of my average of twice in a legendary mission. So I've doubled it. Now this could be in part due to playing a tiny bit more aggressive, but then as was stated, I sadly didn't record the audio, but the entire team basically said that like, you play uber aggressive anyway, so we didn't really notice much of a difference in your play style. For me, personally, I had nothing against the elites. I literally tried to pick off the reds and the purples. If I went to an elite, I could do nothing. It took me about 3 magazines just to get their armor bar to like a worthwhile point, which I could have easily just killed them with a full red build. So there is something to say for comfort, but for me it's mostly negative, which is probably not what you want to hear. So how did I outdamage essentially meta striker builds with Elmos, Dod-Foamath, and one person was also even running Ouroboros? Well, the answer is actually quite simple. At maximum stack, as long as they're using Elmo or Dod-Foamath, at maximum stack, I will out DPS them, like easily. Minus the guy who is also utilizing the chest and backpack, who can at maximum stack outperform me. But other than that, the other two at maximum stack, I do outperform them in DPS. And as we've covered so far in a variety of videos, from Ouroboros doing more on a blue build than an Elmos does on a red build, to Ouroboros actually having decent effect at a variety of ranges beyond its optimal range. As long as I focus the reds and kill them, considering the reds are the most plentiful, not by much, you typically will find there's only about 20-ish more reds per legendary mission than purples or elites. As long as I focus the reds, I can get more kills, I can get my damage in, and from there I just move up to purples. Now this could be seen as either a good thing or a bad thing. It's a good thing because I'm actually contributing. Despite having lower damage spectrum but higher DPS, I am actually able to clear ads. I just need to be picky and actually put a bit of brain power into my play. Now the downside is this is going to leave my allies basically only elites to deal with. So they're stacking off of elites. And because strikers is the way to go, strikers with low stacks is pretty damn painful. So they now need to essentially face tank an elite who is going to take that damage on legendary and shoot them back twice as hard. So it is a game of swings and roundabouts, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's both positive and negative. I am kind of being a detriment to my team because all they have to work with is elites. And if I am playing in a group that is utilizing a headhunter, there is no feasible way for them to build up stacks just on elites. They need those reds, but I'm taking them all. So you kind of also need to be mindful of who you're playing with. Luckily with this group, they were all from the Bro Squad Discord. They're not all Bro Clan. However, we basically just went in with the mindset of pure chaos. Everyone run a DPS build, run around like lunatics, shoot everything. There was no communication in terms of ad going left, ad going right. It was mostly just me crying because it took 5 magazines to kill a friggin' elite, and I absolutely hated my life, along with the fact that for some weird reason, despite having all of this extra survivability that everyone keeps telling me about, I died the most. I think I died 4 times, I think the next was 2, I think someone died once, and I don't think Bro-Z actually went down at all. It might not be Bro-Z, but someone didn't go down at all. So it is at this point where I would like you to let me just lean ever so heavily into the notion of your best survivability is dead things don't shoot back. Blue cores for me are still mostly a waste unless you are running something like a key tank or a stagger tank in the Iron Horse raid. There is not much point to them existing. If I got pushed and rushed, I had nothing. I can't even kill a friggin' yellow sniper, for crying out loud. There is actually a point where in the final boss room, like there's more than one boss, in the final room with the boss, there is an elite sat in the middle who I tried to solo. And I put 1 magazine into him, I think I took 2 armor bars off, and then he put 3 bullets into me and damn near destroyed my shield. I then put my shield away and I tried to run away. He put another 2 bullets into me and I'm at half health. Yeah, this survivability that people keep telling me about with blue cores is not fucking there at all. Just had to take like a 2-hour break from doing this video because it occurred to me that I've got too much blood in my caffeine system, so we're going to get back on track now. So what is the point of this video? And to be perfectly honest, I've mostly actually forgotten. It's mostly me just having a bit of a rambling talk. In fact, that is actually going to be the title of this video. It is mostly here just to show that I wasn't talking out of my ass. Ouroboros with a full blue does do more DPS than an Elmo with full red. We can utilize higher range options. It is very, very powerful. It does work pretty damn well. However, as you can see, it can struggle, particularly if there's something that isn't red or purple in front of me. Wallies are also a huge issue, and the main takeaway point for me personally is I've mostly known it's complete bollocks just because games of this style just don't work this way. Like, oh no, I'm really defensive, therefore it's a more capable build. No, because you're really defensive, you've lost the damage, which now means you need that extra defense because you're going to be taking the damage for longer. And the end result is typically you die more, surprisingly. This has been a thing in a variety of games. I don't understand why people think that somehow Division is different, but apparently people do. So we end up in this weird mix of people being like, oh yeah, but survivability, kill things quicker. Done. This has been like the staple for so many games, especially within the looter shooter variants. Now typically with looter shooters of this style, they actually have a class system. A very prominent one for this is going to be Warframe, which is a brilliant example. There are frames which are designed to do so much more damage. We've got Banshee, Equinox, Sarin, very high damage frames, but they are quite naturally squishy. And then you've got things like Frost, Inarius, who are high armor, or in case of Inarius, like ridiculously high health and a good way to mitigate the damage, but they are still a damaging frame. And for those that are keeping score, this is my 3rd death. Yeah. Oh god, precious caffeine. So yeah, this video is mostly a video for the sake of being a video. I didn't sleep well last night, so I just wanted to kind of do something to get my thoughts in order. As well as I had this rather interesting recording and nothing to really actually do with it because it didn't show what I had hoped it would show, which would be on Legendary with this style of build, a casual build, not really worthwhile. Evidence to the contrary, it is, but at the same time, I was kind of messing over my entire team with it. Was very limited in the versatility of what this build could actually perform. I went down the most, and to be perfectly honest, I genuinely really did actually hate it. Like, I felt like I had nothing. Like, genuinely, like, all this survivability. I keep banging on about it. I am sorry, but like, oh yeah, like we have all this survivability. We can do this, we can do that. And I'm just sort of like, where? Admittedly, I've done this like one time. So maybe after a few more tries, if this build lives that long, I'll start to see it. But to be perfectly honest, no, not at all. Anyway, I'm going to bring this rambling talk to a close here. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun. Good luck. Don't die. It's bad for the health.